Welcome to the Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Today, new sanctions against Iran, the largest fire in California history, and Facebook's pitch for big banks, plus MoviePass and Beyonce. All that and much more in less than 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Tuesday, August 7th. You ready? Let's do this. It's official as of midnight this morning. The U.S. is out of the Iran nuclear deal and sanctions against Iran are back in place. Remember, President Trump has not been a fan of the Iran deal made back in 2015. The deal was meant to freeze Iran's nuclear program, and in exchange, the U.S. and other countries would lift economic sanctions. Trump has called it a horrible, one-sided deal. And now he's undone that deal, at least for the U.S. The Washington Post says he signed the order yesterday to put sanctions back in place against Iran, and he said it's about putting max economic pressure on the leaders there. U.S. allies who were also part of that Iran nuclear deal are not happy about this new plan. In fact, the Wall Street Journal reports European officials said they'll do their best to work with Iran and continue getting exports of oil and gas, in the hopes that Iran will keep up its part of the deal as well. Problem is, some countries and companies still working with Iran could face consequences from the U.S., and for some of them, it may not be worth it. Iran, by the way, is already dealing with a financial crisis, and there are a lot of protests. The star witness in the criminal case against Paul Manafort will take the stand again today, and he's already testified that, yes, they committed crimes together. Remember, Manafort is Trump's former campaign chairman, whose tax and bank fraud trial is happening right now. Although the charges are for things before he worked on the Trump campaign. But still, this is the first trial that stems from the Russia investigation, the one where special counsel Robert Mueller is looking for any collusion with Russia. The guy testifying this week is Rick Gates. He used to be Paul Manafort's right-hand man, and he was also once a Trump advisor. But now Reuters reports Gates is testifying that he helped Manafort cheat on his taxes and hide foreign income. Manafort's lawyers, though, say it was actually all Gates, and he's just saying those things now to get a deal with prosecutors. To be continued. There is a special election happening today in Ohio. It's Ohio's District 12. Time reports the special election is getting extra special attention. Why? Well, it's to fill a seat in the U.S. House that Republican lawmakers have filled for years, more than 35 years. But now there's a chance that could change. At least a recent poll showed the race is neck and neck, so the country is watching this closely. Some see it as a sign of how the November midterm elections could go. The election is happening in the first place because the lawmaker in the House now is retiring early. Also going to the polls today, but for primary races, voters in Kansas, Missouri, Michigan, and Washington state. There have been 2 large wildfires in Northern California, north of San Francisco, but now the AP reports they've grown to become the largest wildfire in California history. The fires are only a few miles apart at this point, so they're now being treated as one. A lot of the fire is in pretty remote areas, though, so at this point, about 75 homes have been destroyed. But thousands more are still threatened, so there have been some more evacuations. And that one is actually different than the one in and around Redding, which is smaller but has been deadly and destroyed more homes. The Weather Channel says there are now 18 major fires burning throughout California. In fact, President Trump approved federal disaster aid for the state. But he did something else as well. President Trump also tweeted about it and said the fires are worse because of bad laws in California. That means water isn't as available. Reuters reports fire officials have said that's just not true. We will get to more news in a moment, but first I want to tell you about our sponsor today, the Bossed Up podcast. Each week, nationally recognized speaker, writer, and CEO Emily Aries deals with your career conundrums. You may have heard her interview on this podcast a while back because she is the go-to expert for all things career, especially for women. So if you or the woman in your life is ready to level up, switch careers, or simply figure out how to have sustainable long-term success, then subscribe now to Bossed Up. That's BOSSED, Bossed Up, wherever you get your podcasts. Now, back to the news. Facebook is apparently hoping to get more of your financial data. The Wall Street Journal reports Facebook wants big banks to join Facebook Messenger and bring their customers' data with them. Think credit card transactions and account balances. The idea? Facebook brings banks more customers, banks bring financial data to Facebook. It would all be for a new service on Messenger. For example, banks could give you your account balance or fraud alerts all through Facebook. A Facebook spokesperson talked to CNN, saying Facebook is not actively asking for financial data, that instead it's about partnering with banks and companies to offer services like customer chat and account management. Of course, Facebook has already faced quite a bit of backlash over privacy issues. Amazon has a new feature for its smart speakers like the Amazon Echo. It's called Answer Updates, and it means if the AI assistant Alexa doesn't know your question right now, she'll get back to you when she does. VentureBeat reports once the feature has rolled out to everyone over the next week, you would just say, Alexa, turn on Answer Update, and then it'll give you alerts when Alexa knows the answer to a question you've asked in the past. But reports in the past have said Google's assistant is actually the best at answering questions. The Amazon Echo is the best-selling, though. By the way, you can get the newsworthy now on most smart speakers, including the Google Home, Apple HomePod, and Amazon Echo. For Amazons, you just need to enable the newsworthy skill in your Alexa app. More changes are coming to MoviePass, and there's some good and bad news. The good news? A few things. MoviePass is saying never mind about raising the monthly fee, stopping you from seeing big releases, and using peak pricing. The bad news? You can only see 3 movies a month. Before, MoviePass let subscribers see as many as 1 movie a day, all for just $10 a month. But the company could not keep up with that. It was going through too much cash and has had to take out an emergency loan. So 3 movies a month it is, starting next Friday, August 15th. Beyonce got pretty personal in the latest cover story for Vogue. She's on the cover for the September issue out this week and wrote an article revealing new details about her pregnancy, feelings about her body, planning for concerts, and more. For example, she said she used to believe society about how her body should look post-pregnancy. Not anymore. She's been more about self-love and self-care, especially after an emergency C-section with her twins. And it was a historic cover. It was the first cover shot by an African-American photographer. And that's it. You are all caught up for today. If you listen on a podcast app, be sure to hit the subscribe or follow button, whatever it is at the very top. This makes sure that you are notified whenever there's a new episode, so you are always in the know. And if you want to read more about a news story we talked about, check out today's show notes. You can find them at thenewsworthy.com. Just click episodes and find today's date. The Newsworthy is ready for you to listen every weekday by 4 in the morning Eastern Time. So we'll chat again tomorrow. Have a great day.